It's simple. You can put it in there. We're going to track everything through the cloud, and this enables you to be that tech-enabled agent.
There we go. I got to remember to push that unmute button. So that's basically the smart plans in a nutshell. And I'm going to show it to you live because it looks like a lot of work, but a lot of stuff is going to be done for you if you didn't want to recreate the wheel. So in my smart plans here, it says that I haven't created anything. I can go ahead and create a new smart plan, or I can go ahead and browse the KW library. Notice on the top, Team Smart Plans and KW library. So they are really going to integrate with the teams as well. So if I go to the library, a lot of these features aren't triggered right now, but look at the top, new, featured, highest rating, trending, popular, must-haves, and free. So there's going to be free smart plans that are out there that are available to you that you can download, and you can modify any of these along with other ones that you can actually purchase. This is kind of a sample of what it would look like. So this would be a flat fee of $9 to purchase this. You as an agent, if you develop a smart plan, you also have the ability to publish your smart plan that you can offer for free. You can request a payment on it. You can request money to KW Cares. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that you can do with this. These are just kind of templates right now, but it does allow me to do this without paying. And so I'm going to show you what this is. First thing you can do is preview the plan before you even look. And here is the actual plan that's there. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and purchase this plan, I can just add it to my smart plans. As far as payments go, I don't know how that's going to work yet. I'm going to assume that we would have a credit card that you'd have to put on file with the system to do that. But if I go ahead and I purchase this, I can name it to whatever I want. It creates the smart plan. And then if I go back to my smart plans, this is where it's going to show up. A few of these buttons that I found, this one currently has 4 steps. This is where you can activate it and deactivate it, but let's take a look at it. This is the actual smart plan that we imported. So if I needed to change anything, I have the ability to change any of this. I can add things, I can take it out. So for me, what I plan on doing is looking for smart plans for listing processes, for closing processes, post-closing, things like that. Then taking that and import it and changing it to what I specifically need, okay? Changing looks like it's pretty easy to do. And I think it was this button here. Nope, I lied. This is where you they actually just changed this on me this morning. This is where you can actually put your contacts in the smart plans. So looks like they changed that a little bit on me, but at least you get the idea of what that is. Mark, I'm glad you can hear me now. See, I'm slow at reading the chat thing, so you guys like do this in the window or something for me so I can say, look at the chat if we need to. So let's go ahead and do our brief overview for those of you that are brand new on what's available with Command and what's coming. Probably the most important thing that you want to mess with is getting your contacts into Command. You can upload them one at a time. You can use Kelly, as we just seen through the video, or you can try to import them with the CSV file. So if I click on Contacts, here's your import button. So if you have a CSV file from either eEdge or any other, or Google or anything that you have, you can go ahead and try to import them. The only thing is that it's not bringing over, if you've got groups set up, it's not bringing over all of your groups. So what I'm suggesting that you do is, let's take eEdge for example, and let's say that you have a group in eEdge that's called Past Clients. You'd want to export them out of eEdge into a CSV file. And then from there, you can import them in as that past client group. Now, once I've got a group that's in here that I've imported, I can go ahead and select all of these, and I can do a bulk action and go ahead and add a tag to these people. A tag is essentially what your groups are. Okay, so think about that. Tags are what groups are. So the system isn't going to work until you actually start getting some contacts in here and messing around. Even if you just brought in one small group just to play with the system. Remember, this is as worse as it's going to get as it is right now. So it's only going to get better, but you have to learn it and you have to experiment a little bit. As long as you're messing with the contacts, make sure all of your settings are set up. We've had a few changes with this as well, so I want to go through settings. You click on your name and you go to the settings. These are your applications, which you can click there. These are things that you can connect currently. And the one thing that I would suggest not connecting is e-edge just yet, because it's not talking very nice. You may get double people. I even got 5 people at once. But what you do want to try to connect is your Facebook, your Google Calendar, your Gmail. If you have an ads manager, connect that. Google AdWords. And the other one that you want to connect for sure is MailChimp. Now, to do MailChimp, you actually have to do it right from the system. So I'm going to log off of this and get into our demo account.
Good job, Al.
They can hear you, Sandy.
I know.
Can everybody hear Sandy? She's hiding in the back there. And I have not set up a MailChimp account with this, so this may or may not work. So go back to settings. And anything that's an outside service besides like the Google stuff, always try to set it up from within here first. Because if we're connected with Keller Williams, we may have free versions of it. So if I were to go outside and actually create a MailChimp account, for example, it wouldn't allow me to have a free version of that. So if I click Connect Account, it's going to bring up information for your username and password. And I haven't tried this yet with our demo account, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. And this would be your credentials for your MyKW as well. And I can't remember what the password was on this. Let me do a quick look here. How are we doing so far? Anybody got any questions as I'm trying to look for our password?
Christy just said if you already have a MailChimp account, can you use that?
From what I understand, Christy, you have to actually use your KW email. So if you have a separate MailChimp account, I don't believe that you can connect it at this time. You may be able to actually connect 2 accounts using the PySync platform, but we're not sure. But I believe right now all you can do is connect to your MyKW email. And let's see here. Aha, we found the password. It's not going to let me with the demo account, but you can see how you get in there and you would go ahead and connect your MailChimp at that point. So I'll go ahead and get back into the main command with my own. Bonus points. Does anybody remember why my login is Rust Bucket? Type it in there for bonus points if you remember why Al's login is Rust Bucket.
Yes.
You can guess. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead and guess.
An old car?
I did have a Rust Bucket car. That's pretty good. All right, let's get back into our settings here. Anytime that you're bringing in customers, you're putting contacts, you're doing deals, there's not an initial delete to anything. So the other thing you have to be aware of is there is an archive button. So if I were to delete a contact, they would actually show up here. You see these 2 contacts that I deleted, including myself, or archived, I'm sorry. This is where you would actually delete them permanently from the system. So make sure you know that, because if you're playing with the system and let's say you're importing a group, you didn't like the way that it looked and you deleted everybody and you tried to import them again, it's not going to let you because it's seeing it still in the archive part. Custom fields. We talked about this a little bit as far as custom fields go. You have the ability on your contact cards to create your own custom fields. So this would be like my church group, things like that. The idea is to be able to customize this system to what you do as far as business goes. Custom tags, this is where what you can also create, and these are actually color coded. So you can edit what's currently there. You can color code these so that when you look on the contact card, you're going to be able to, you know, see what's going on in the different things. My neighborhoods. This, if you are farming, this is where you can go ahead and select a neighborhood so that you can have a market snapshot of that actual neighborhood that you can send out to them. The nice thing about these that I found that are more beneficial than the other ones is the fact that they are always changing. So you don't have to get in there and modify them. It's being updated constantly with information. Now, it's easy to do that with, you know, market statistics and things like that, but it's going to be a little bit more involved for you as far as, or I should say more expansive for you as far as the things that are available on these custom sites for these people. You're going to have not only just the market statistics, it's also tied into the neighborhood snapshots and tied into Nextdoor. So the feed from Nextdoor may start to show up there, just like a social media feed. Any changes as far as new restaurants, things like that. So if you have something that's fluid, it's going to keep people's attention and you're going to be able to keep them on your site. And that's the ultimate goal with this. Let's go into contacts a little bit. I really wanted to touch base on some of the contact stuff. Once you've got a contact in there, you can go ahead and click on the contact card, and from there is where you can edit all of the information from them. And remember, this is the phone calls that I did this morning just to test it through the Kelly system. It will eventually, if you've got enough information here, it will eventually also log your social media interactions with them, your chat interactions. All of that's going to be logged for you. Another thing that you want to do for each contact, start thinking consumer app, is add a neighborhood for that particular contact. And it's really easy to do. You just search for the name of a neighborhood. I don't know one offhand. Sean, what's your subdivision called?
Buckingham Estates.
Let's see if that shows up. Nothing there. Let me try a zip code. BUCK? We got Buck. We're going to just put a Pennsylvania in there for now. And you add as many neighborhoods that relate to your particular contact. So if they're selling and buying, it would probably be good to actually add 2. So when they have their consumer app, they'll be able to get in and actually see statistics, see what's going on in their neighborhood, you know, have different resources and things like that. So I'm going to just go ahead and go back to contacts here. Filters, you do have the ability to actually filter the type of contacts that you're looking for. So similar to eEdge, you can actually filter, let's say I was looking for past clients or people that I contacted longer than or within a certain time period. So you're in that slow downswing of your business and you're like, I need to get some more business. Well, who haven't you contacted in a while? You'll be able to filter that. Once you actually do that, you can actually create smart views for that. So you don't have to do it every time. You'll actually have a smart view that you've saved, and then you can click at that at any time. So that's going to be available for you as well. One thing that popped up that's new is the task manager. This is a basic to-do list that's available for you. So if it's not associated, well, that was kind of new. If it's not associated with a particular client and it's just something that you have to do, you can add a description, you can add a file, hyperlinks. You can just go ahead and do that. And then Kelly will actually remind you when that's due. If it is for a particular client, you can actually assign contacts. This will also be available for teams where you'll be able to assign your team members different tasks as well. Now, of course, you can do that within any of your contacts and any of your deals. But if it's just for something generic, that's a really good thing to start messing around with. Referrals. Always remember your referrals platform. Make sure that you're checking this periodically and seeing if you have any new invites, okay? This is from your referral network, the 180,000 Keller Williams agents that are out there. There's agents that are out there that are just pulling it up on the map, searching for people, asking you to be a part of the referral network, and it's just going to your Kelly or sitting here in this spot. So you want to accept everybody. Once you do that, they both talk to each other. So once you've accepted Al, I've automatically accepted you. You don't have to go looking for me. Lead Accelerator. Sean, did you mess with this?
No, I still haven't put one together.
I believe, I'm trying to think who actually started to mess around with this. This, you can actually create campaigns through multi-channels. We've started to play with this a little bit. You set your budget, you set your areas and things like that. This is going to get a lot smarter. So right now, currently testing in the past 2 years with the smart campaigns, they're getting a 50% better result than if you were to boost your own post on Facebook. So the smarter part of this is going to come that when you boost a post on Facebook, you kind of pick your audience and things like that. The artificial intelligence, Kelly and everybody back there is going to actually figure out what's the best audience for you, what's the best bang for your buck. So you'll actually be able to pick the best campaigns, things like that. I may list a property and it may say, okay, we suggest you use Google AdWords and Facebook for this with this audience, and this should be your success rate for hits. So I tried it once. I messed around with it. If you're going to try, just do something little, you know, $10 just to see how this part of the system works. Let's get into opportunities. A couple of new things that I've seen with opportunities. With listings, they're actually connected. I'm going to show you a listing that I just put in there. Here's a listing on Fairchild. I brought it through the various stages. Now I'm showing the property, meaning it's active on the market. But you can actually attach the listing information now from the KWLS, which is really, really convenient. So it brings in all your listing information, your current price range, and it keeps everything updated for you so you don't have to keep going back into the system. So had I not have anything here, it would say select listing from the KWLS. There is about a day, day and a half lag with that. So in our last webinar that we did, we said we wanted you to really start messing with the opportunities. If you have listings, start putting them in here as well. And remember, we can hit the various stages. Email campaigns. This is something that we're going to get pretty heavy into next week as long as everything is working. This is where you would need that MailChimp account. So everything is going to go through MailChimp. This is where you're going to set up your email campaigns. Think drip campaigns in eEdge, similar to that, all connected with your smart plans. Nobody got my nickname. Nope, it was not a nickname. Russ Bucket was not a nickname. I did get a lot of feedback from people as far as these labs go, and everybody said, keep it short, keep it simple, and that's what we want to do for you guys. So I guess we will take some questions. First, I will answer this. So Rust Bucket, let's see, do we have anybody that is over 40 years old? Over 40? I see over there. Rust Bucket was my CB handle. That would be the cell phone of my generation. So that's what that was. Does anybody have any questions at all? If you do, go ahead and type it in that chat for us.
Mark just said short sales. Is it?
Short sales. What are you referencing, Mark, as far as short sales go? I'm going to see if I can unmute you and actually hear you. We haven't tried this yet, Mark. So let me see. Let me turn up the volume here, and I'm going to unmute you. All right, Mark. Let's see if we can hear you. Nope, doesn't sound like you've got a microphone hooked up. Short sales, how do I get my listings in? So are you talking listings that you currently have? Because any listing that you currently have or that you're working on, you can get in. Any transaction that you're working for on the buyer side, you can currently get in. And I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but I'll go ahead and get in here and kind of show you. Let me get into the demo account so I can show you here. So in opportunities, this is where you would kind of start everything. Okay, so active listings. To get an active listing in here, what you have to do is you open up your opportunities and you create an opportunity. This is with listings and buyers. So if you had a team, that would be there. Opportunity type is either going to be a listing or a buyer. The client, you actually have to have a client in there for it to work. I'm just going to go ahead and put Aaron because that's the first thing. This is from our office. I'm going to go ahead and put there. A co-seller, expected close date, the opportunity phase, the commission, anything that's asterisk you got to fill out. Opportunity phase is if it's a current listing, you're going to put active. If not, it's an appointment. So we're just going to go ahead and put as an appointment for you. And the first stage that they have is scheduling and anything else that you want to put there. So when I create this opportunity, this is where you can edit it again. There's no back button, and I wish there was. If I go back into the opportunity panel here, now my listing opportunity is currently here. It's in scheduling. This as far as my appointment goes. So I've scheduled an appointment. I've kept that appointment. And I can't see the button, so I'm going to push it here. Now, once this listing goes active, all I have to do is change the opportunity phase to active. And the current thing is either staging, showing, or negotiations. So once I've done that, now if I look back at it,
I think if we put the address in there, will it connect?
I think it will connect if you put the address in there. Let me hit refresh. It's giving us a little attitude. Now it's an active listing. Now, once it's in an active listing stage, here's that button, select from KWLS. So I could essentially, I don't know if it's going to pull up anything because this is the demo account, but what it'll do is actually pull up all of your deals that are in KWLS, including closed ones. So you can just change the status to active. It'll filter through, and then you'll be able to put it in there. So for you, Mark, in your instance, what you really want to look at is for a short sale, how you want these stages to actually flow. So you've got appointments. And what I can do here is I've got scheduling, scheduled, and kept. With a short sale, you can edit for anything. You can edit these stages, and I can add stages. So you'd be like getting BPO stage, things like that. I can edit these current stages. I can delete them. I can also have a checklist for each stage. I haven't had a success with the checklist this week. I think there was some glitches. Have you tried anything with the checklist? Yeah. But I believe by next week, this is all going to be working so that you're going to be able to actually get all your stages through and get it all working. So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's all I've got on that part for you. Anybody else? Any other questions? Sandy wants to know why the Wi-Fi is moving so slow. Job security. That's why it's moving so slow. All right, I think that's it. Tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit more into the opportunities, some more into the contacts, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper. I'm hoping that another release happens tomorrow that we can get into some more of these modules. So, what's that?
Mark just said, do I need to add a client first before I can?
Yes, you have to have your client first. Good question, Mark. So, because it's a starred thing as far as who it's associated with, you do have to have a contact in the database to be able to do that. Okay, everybody, remember, keep checking out the KWL One Stop for updates. Another spot that I really want you to check out is if you do log into your MyKW, go under the Education tab. That gets you into KW Connect. And then under Technology, Tech-Enabled Agent, this is access to things as they release it as well. So if I click on Command, for example, here's information on all of the different parts of Command. And they're adding stuff every day, okay? So make sure you check that out as well. I'm trying to pull a lot of information out of it, put it into the KWL One Stop because it's quite overwhelming, so that it's a little simpler for you. But that's what we're working on. So everybody have a great day, and we should end them all in take command, right? 1, 2, 3. Take command.